Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Calix Midrange in Magic Arena, and I have been loving this deck. I kind of built it almost as a joke, and it's actually been working really well. So I decided to go with like a Setessan champion type of deck that has lots of enchantments, has lots of fun stuff. I wanted to have a focus around Calix, and I decided not to go with like the aggro beatdown version that everyone's kind of been doing. We've seen a lot of it if you've been playing it all or seen any videos around it. I decided to go with more like a mid-range control kind of like just a ton of removal stuff. So we have 4 Banishing Lights, 4 Conclave Tribunals. Calix basically is another removal spell with that as well, because every time that it enters, we can -3 right away, exile target creature or enchantment you don't control until another enchantment doesn't leave the battlefield, whatever. So basically has the same effect of Conclave Tribunal or Vanishing Light, and we can put something else underneath the Vanishing Light, Conclave Tribunal, or any other of our indestructible enchantments or anything like that. And so this deck is really fun. I've been enjoying it a lot. I like so we have Elspeth Conquers Death as well, some more removal. It lets us bring back Planeswalkers. So we have our Nissa, we have our Calix, and those are kind of the main finishers. Really, it's Nissa that's gonna, like, once we have a Nissa down, we tend to finish games off. Setessan Champion can do it for us. Heliod and everything else can do it for us as well. But that's kind of what I've seen, and that's why Nissa isn't in here to have kind of be the finisher, because she just is broken. It's amazing. The mana ramp is great for this deck. We do have a little bit of heavy white stuff with Daxos. Daxos are just really good. Having a lot of toughness with this is really nice sometimes. Gaining life is really nice. And so we do have some good ways to kind of just be finishing with that. First, Iroan Games. I'm actually kind of a fan of this card. It's a saga, 4 sagas, chapters of the saga. Is it chapters, I guess? Creates a 1/1 white human soldier token. Then you put 3 counters onto target creature you control, so it doesn't have to be onto this guy. But then on the third one, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw 2 cards. And then you can create a gold token at the end, which is basically add 1 mana of any color, which is really nice. It's cycling through this, which is pretty cool. I think I went right on pace with that. That's cool. Oh, those are just the 2 tokens it creates. All right. So sometimes it's nice to just throw this onto Daxos or onto Setessan Champion or something like that. Something that's a little more protected. That way, we're going to guarantee, keep around or have a much higher chance of keep around a creature with power 4 or greater. But it also is nice just to throw it onto the 1/1. We hopefully get to draw cards, and we get to draw 2 cards. Sorry, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you draw 2 cards, which is really nice. And so having 2 of those is nice. Birth of Meletis also pretty nice to help us dig for lands. And other than that, this is pretty much the deck. Dryad, just occasionally we'll have some lands, and Setessan Champion drawing cards whenever enchantments enter the battlefield. So we have more enchantments. Be able to turn all these into green mana for our Nissa. We are a little bit mana demanding sometimes, so it's nice to just have it, but it's not a big thing. Destiny Spinner, a good payoff. If we just have this and Nissa, we can start turning more lands into big creatures and swing in. So let's go ahead and get into the gameplay, see how this does for us, and wish me luck. Before we jump into the gameplay, a quick thanks to Fusion Gaming for sponsoring this video. Be sure to head over to fusiongamingonline.com for all your Magic the Gathering needs. Check the link in the description below. All right, up against AZ Cat. I'm actually in AZ in Arizona, so cool to see other people there. This is a pretty good curve. I'm liking this a lot. We don't have double green, but we have all the double white that we need for now. Daxos pretty good against red decks. Hopefully. They don't just have straight up removal right away. It does come out only as a 2/2, and so it's not very powerful right off the bat. I like so. They're hovering over it. You gonna kill it? You gonna do it? They're probably gonna try to see if it's worth swinging in first. Not gonna block. Yeah, Rimrock Knights, Shocks, everything that kills us if we let that happen. Runaway Steamkin. Where's our removal? Not there. Alright, we're not drawing into our removal. This is an issue. Kind of a not good thing. Alright, swing in. Down to 18 past the turn. I think we're just going to put the counters onto Daxos if we can. I feel like having a big body that's just going to have a bigger toughness is so much better against mono red. Let's see how crazy they go with this Runaway Steamkin this turn. Calix is kind of nice against the Runaway Steamkin because, like, as long as we get rid of the effect, it's not bad. No blocks. We can take 3. Alright, they didn't have anything there, so Daxos become a 5/5. Calix. So I can hide stuff underneath Daxos.
Child of the stars.
Which, I mean, is very difficult for them to kill at this point. So that might be what we do, is just get rid of you, put it under Daxos. Swing in for 1. Pass the turn. Keep this as a blocker for now. We actually want him to stay alive to draw 2 cards on the next turn. So the biggest way that this dies now is if they like Ember Cleave us or something. Torbrand, also annoying. They can't really attack in right now, though. They don't have mana. They already played a land this turn. Oh, did they play a land this turn? Oh, did they play a land this turn? I think they did. Okay, yeah. Pretty sure they played a land this turn. Can we Banishing Light and do anything else? Let's just Elspeth Conquers Death. Get rid of Torbrand. Poacher scoops it up. There we go. Yeah. This deck, man. I've not actually played it against a mono red deck yet. And I think that it could probably use a little bit more life gain against that kind of a deck. I'm not really sure what I would put it on. Maybe the 1/1 that has life linking is at least good enough that it can be a good chump blocker, give us protection from things that we need occasionally. And you know, it can get bigger with like Aggro and War or something. I'm just not sure what I would put it. Maybe with the Dryad. The Dryad is not really seeming very great for us yet. We have a Scry for more lands, but we don't really have any early game plays. And opponent's going first. Like a turn 3 play is okay later. Maybe this deck also just needs more board wipes. Let's mulligan. Keep this. Drop. And our only removal spell, maybe Heliod. Heliod is like, doesn't do anything for the first bit, so we can hopefully draw into it more later. But yeah, so let's drop the Heliod. We have a few of them, I think, in the deck. Actually, we may only have 2, because it's not as good in some situations. All right, Temple of Plenty. Destiny Spinner, let's see, it can swipe black so far. If it's Esper, this is going to be really nice. Let's keep it. So Test and Champion, we need more enchantments to hit here. Takes a Test and Champion. For her. Temple Garden and Destiny Spinner. Fast turn. There's the only thing we didn't show them in our hand, so maybe we could have got out more discard stuff, but that is the better card to be playing. It has more toughness. There's more upside to it than just Daxos' stuff. I mean, which is not bad, but... Alright, so let's go to combat, swing in. Down to 17. Temple of Plenty, get it. Don't need that. Daxos, play it out, pass the turn. And we're still putting on some pressure here. I mean, even just Destiny Spinner as well, like with the different enchantments we have, once we have 5 lands, it can just turn something into a 4/4 or 5/5 each turn, which is powerful. That can then have moved, which is annoying, but... Cryptic Canarium just to kill one guy. Okay. Heliod. Swing in. Temple of Plenty. Castle Ardenvale comes in untapped next turn and lets us start creating tokens. Even just tokens starting to gain lifelink and getting bigger is not bad. Now it's gone. And that doesn't go away. It's exiled. I should have kept the other Heliod, I guess, in hindsight. Auto pay. Do they even have anything in their graveyard to get? Guess not. Temple Plenty again. Dude. Wait, we've not been running very well. That's for certain. Down to 13, past the turn. We've ran into like doubles of stuff over and over again, and then not been able to actually utilize it very well. It creates 2 tokens.
Fight beside me.
Not seen an Elspeth deck yet, really. So this is kind of fun. First Iroan games. Alright, swing you at Elspeth. I'm doing this because basically they don't get any more value out of her. Or they lose a guy. And we can still chump block their guys if we need to.
Heroes, rally to me.
Let's put it on this one. Birth of Melitus. Grab a Plains, play the Plains. We get Castle Ardenvale turned on here. We can also just make a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 4/4. Swing everything at face. They have to basically block pretty aggressively. All right, let's do this. Tap here, here, here. Actually, let's tap here. Use your ability on that one. Attack, attack, in. I don't care about Elspeth's ability. I do care about keeping her alive, though, right? So, yeah, swinging like that. Cool thing, too, is while everything is still out on the battlefield, I can, if they do, even if they do kill this 4/4, I can create a 4/4 to happen with the first Iroan game. So I do need to actually hold up some stuff here. Davriel, that's fine.
I'm mysterious, refined, and a far better dresser than you.
A far better dresser than you. I've not heard all of these guys' voice acting all the time. It's fun stuff. Down to 3. Opponent escape step. There we go. Yeah. Destiny Spinner. This is the reason Destiny Spinner is so good. I've actually not won with her yet, but the pressure that she puts on is pretty awesome. And we do have lots of enchantments in the deck. And creating a 4/4, 5/5 every turn does definitely win games. So, booyah. Let's play again. Up against Sam Carter, or Charter. We're on the play. I always like to keep powerful 3-drops on the play. It's worked well for me so far. Daxos is pretty good. I may just play the Temple Plenty again anyway here. He can come out as a good 2/2 for the Setessan champion. Land is good. We'll keep land. No! I feel like you've got to take the Setessan champion or Nissa, but Setessan champion is more guaranteed here as good value. So, man, this is the issue with Setessan champion. I just don't feel like I've been able to actually keep it around for enough turns for it to do anything worthwhile. Temple Garden taps, Daxos, pass the turn. We do have answers for Fires of Invention. Thought Erasure, take Nissa. Still have answers for Thought of... And so we only have to take 10 turns here to win. So, got this, clearly. That's not a bad job. Alright, Heliod. Swing him in. Down to 18, pass the turn. They know we have answers for Fires of Invention, but getting the value is still good. Traxa, we don't like that necessarily. Maybe this is just a discard deck? Alright, Destiny Spinner, make Daxos bigger. Swing in with Daxos. Gain life, make Destiny Spinner bigger. Pass the turn. That's not bad. Even with discard, now they're going to have to deal with our board. Discovery. Fine. Do they have another possible Proxa? Is that what they're digging for? To keep the red mana up? I guess they just keep all of their colors up so they can actually possibly play something. Gain life or play Calix? Calix, do we have enough to get to anything here? Let's just swing in with these guys. I think, honestly, this is our better play at the moment, is you gain lifelink, you gain lifelink, pump both of you, keep the pressure on, we gain a ton of life. Don't show our removal until we have things to remove. We are almost to lethal next turn. Discovery again. They didn't play Dispersal, which bounces the Heliod. I guess that doesn't do a ton for them. Play Forest. I mean, yeah, do it again. I guess, they bring out this guy as a 3/3. Swing in for lethal. Do you have removal? If they do this now, they at least kill something to get smaller. We need to put counters onto something though. So Destiny Spinner's down. It dies, we get that bigger. This becomes a 2/2 instead of a 3/3 because they did that. So that's good for them. Down to 2, pass the turn, and we no longer have that effect. So they could have removal here, they could stabilize. But we're in fairly good shape. That was a really annoying play. The Croxa comes back. We will discard Banishing Light, which they're probably like, what? Why would you do that? Oh, well, I swear, my luck is good for this. Alright, you go behind that.
Order to my world continue.
And then we'll see.
To your place,
Booyah! Dude, this deck is actually pretty sweet. I like it a lot. Alright, we're up against Grandma of Many Blades. And that's a sweet name. Not as sweet of a hand, but we're on the play, and so turn 3 stuff's not bad. We have soul lands that are still good for our hand, so let's keep this. Like, we can get away with playing these slow lands for 2 turns, and so hopefully unpunished a little bit here. So Test and Champion is a good thing to get it down first, because if it survives, we start drawing lots of cards. If it's good. Alright, play Castle Ardenvale, pass the turn. I also don't like mulliganing if we can avoid it, because I've had more issues mulliganing than just keeping a hand and trying to make it work. At times. I mean, there's sometimes you just absolutely have to get rid of stuff. Alright, Castle Ardenvale, go, pass the turn. I did just barely go up to 3 Castle Ardenvales instead of 2, just to kind of test it out to see if it's going to bug me too much to have an extra one. So far, it's not been terrible. Let's go to Test and Champion. I'm kind of worried they have removal hold up here. Tyrant Scorn would be annoying. There it is. Alright, well, first our own games would have been butter. Birth of Meletis. That guarantees us getting into Nissa for the next turn. Calix is kind of interesting here as well. I may just go for an actual, like, threat, though. Having this out's not bad. It is kind of weird with Calix. We can't really remove stuff without having an enchantment to put it onto, and all these sagas don't really work well with it. Euro comes out. Yeah, that's annoying. This is a little bit of a harder matchup for us because they just are creating tons of value outside of things that we can really interact with. So we'll see how we do with this deck. Vanishing Light's nice. We don't hit land though. Let's swing in first and foremost. I kind of, just in case we have lands on top, I'm not sure I want to dig for something here. I guess it's best to, like, we could just Birth of Meletis, hit the land, have Banishing Light, hit nothing right now. We can do that on another turn. So let's go ahead and bring up the Calix. So that we can do next turn as well. Heliod is good.
A patterned future appears.
This is another thing with all of our sagas as well, is that they don't really keep Heliod alive for very long. Like, they don't keep him out as a creature for very long. So Heliod is more of a, we occasionally gain life in this deck, not very often, but occasionally with Daxos, with some other stuff. Oh, that's annoying. Blue Hiss. Well, let's just do this. Let's go ahead and exile that. Because it's a token, it will go away with this anyway, so that's fine.
Return to your place.
Play Nissa. We have some exiling stuff we can do later. Let's go ahead and bring up the Plains. Attack in. I guess I should have done Castle Ardenvale, since we need to have a Plains around in case this dies. That could be bad. But now we're in pretty good shape. They have nothing on the board. We have lots of good stuff. We're going to create a gold token next turn. Heliod will start making these guys gain us life and get bigger and everything. Exiles lots of things. That's cool. We can take care of it just fine. We'll probably just go for Elspeth Conquers Death here. Unless they have a counter. Thought Erasure. Well, we have two answers for it, so that's fine. I'm guessing they take Elspeth Conquers Death, just because that's probably the best thing. We get back our Setessan champion. Yeah, they take that. Boo Hiss. That's fine. We shall live on. In glory. Alright, so Banishing Light. Let's take care of this now while we can. You're dead, son. Play... I actually had another Elspeth Conquers Death. I didn't even look. Play Heliod. Let's go with... Let's actually go with a Castle Ardenvale this turn. Again. Swing in. I guess I could have pumped both of them if I had done it differently. Gain some life, put counters onto stuff, onto normal planes. Tick up. And Daxos is nice to get Heliod turned on, but let's just grab more removal. Pass the turn.
Show me my path.
And we kind of just lock him out of the game with this setup. Like, it's really hard. They can have answers. They can probably kill our Nissa. They can probably kill stuff, but like, they can only deal with so much at a time. And as long as Nissa, you know, keeps going, maybe I should be turning Forest on as well, because we go grab Forest with Nissa. Losing a lot of our white mana would be annoying. Casualties of War. A land and a creature. Man, that's nice. And a Planeswalker. Good job. There's lots and lots of things. Euro comes back. I mean, we have an answer for it, so we can still kill it. It was an escape, so it goes to the graveyard, I guess. So we don't really have an answer for it. Down to 16. We're down to three lands. This is not good. Birth of Meletis is at least nice to hit more planes. Okay, I need to be taking up with Calix first, because there are some things that we might be able to hit here better. Like a Setessan champion actually doesn't get hit with this. Alright, grab the planes. Tick up. Destiny Spinner. We can play it this turn.
I am blessed by Nyx.
They have counter? Throw Spiral. Okay, that's fine. Man, Casualties of War is such a powerful card. I really do not like that card at all. It hits so many things. Crazy powerful. I mean, it's really good. It's the reason why it's a 6-mana spell. I feel like it ought to be even more expensive, though. Like, honestly, it's so busted. Alright, so we have Elspeth Conquers Death for the next turn. Euro doesn't come out. Interesting. They're milling themselves more. Get more stuff to the graveyard for Euro. Euro coming out, which is 3 or more, so we can do the Elspeth Conquers Death on that. Which would make us lose. We actually have Heliod as a blocker. Ooh, Setessan Champion. We need to get removal for this, so Setessan Champion would have been nice, but first off, kill Euro. You go behind Heliod, why not? And we'll actually put some pressure on. Pass the turn. They know that we have Banishing Light in hand still. 6 cards in the graveyard, so they can bring back Euro. Honestly, they have probably more removal for this as a creature than as anything else. Kills lots of stuff. That's annoying. Dude, Casualties of War again. That's such a busted card. So difficult to deal with. I mean, if we hit, not even hitting land helps us here now. This is such a grindy game. Like, I'm almost just wanting it to end rather than, they're not even halfway through their lands. We hit the land that we needed to play both of these. Yeah, put it onto Heliod. Why not? We have to do this before it hasn't. We just can't let Euro attack in too many times. Way too powerful. I mean, we're staying in the game. I mean, it kind of shows the value that this deck can have. They've been doing all the busted things, 2 Casualties of War, and we've at least stayed in it. It also shows the downside of they can just hit our enchantments, and it does bring all their stuff back. They get more value out of it. So that is the biggest downside, is that... Oh, that's also a downside. We don't have things like Hydra Crisis. Honestly, going Bant with this deck would probably be better. Okay, pass to my turn. Alright, so perfect. I'm glad that they're tapping intuitively. Daxos. We don't get to gain life, but we get to draw cards. Nah. Ooh. That's an answer for the big boy. All the cards, though, we don't have answers for right now. Especially if they found another Casualties of War. Maybe another Hydra Crisis. Swings in for a bunch and a half. Down to 15. Growth Spiral, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we do get to turn on Heliod next turn. The Root comes out. Ugh.
Leave me be, you assassin. You cannot run or hide.
Dang it, that's not good. Yeah, I don't think we can actually close this game out. Maybe if we, like, let them mill themselves out somehow. There is that potential, like, small possibility we can survive till then. At this point, X5 Hydra Crisis, yeah, has another blocker for our stuff. I guess we hold off for just a moment. Let's actually tap down here in case we find if we draw into another source of removal. We kind of, do we have to hit the Hydrocrisis, the big one? We can gain life this turn still. We can swing with Heliod and just take care of, like, so we could just get rid of Garruk, swing in and gain 6. That lets us live another turn. That's something that it can at least be done, is living. Actually, does this give it to another creature? No, it's another creature. So we have to swing in with Setessan Champion. Calix is good. We also don't have blockers for the wolves this way. We gain an extra life from it dying. Alright, well, we get to kill wolf. Just had to gain life to not be dead. Gain some life. Make things bigger. Put on Daxos, why not? Daxos again. Actually, having him big so we can gain life is important. Thought Erasure, nothing in hand. Booyah, got him. We're also taking 15 here, though, so got him is a little bit... Euro comes out and comes back, I'm guessing. How many cards do they have in their... Maybe not, they don't have enough in the graveyard just yet. Pays for it, yeah. 25 life. They have another Hydrocrisis. Calix gets to take care of one of them. Down to 4. Gain life with Daxos. We're in the game. We're out of the game.
This isn't your
Almost
average
completely.
zombie horde. Impressive, isn't
Actually, well, maybe not. We have to sacrifice. So this is a way to get rid of Heliod here. Plays that as a way to get rid of another creature. Sacrifice 2 creatures.
Get out of my way!
Yep. Gain 1 life. It's only when another creature can use.
it? Waste not, want
14
not.
cards in the library. I'm going to play this one out kind of just because we've already gone this far, you know? It's like, we got to do it. But we are dead to this Hydrocrisis. Good game.
I am born of Nyx, child of the stars.
Put it underneath that one so they can have all the good stuff under one place. They still get us with the 5/5, and we pass through a spiral. Yeah, letting him play it out here. It's already been such a long game that, you know, just got to let this one play out. Really, what a fun game, though. Oh, man, they get this back, too. Nice. Nice.
Welcome to my domain. You got a good head.
And it gets exiled, yeah.
Death.
Yeah, this is the biggest downside of doing, like, Banishing Lights. Like, anything... Conclaves are doing Banishing Light right now. There is a big downside of them just not being straight up removal. Like, I really wish white had removal that as good as black's is. Anything even close would be nice. You're gonna play it out. Really? If we had a board wipe here, we can maybe make him draw enough cards. So they're gonna draw a card here. It dies. They get another card from it dying. Paradise Druid. I don't have board wipes in this deck. That'd be pretty sweet. Alright, we are gonna concede though. And I do think that we had a chance from that game. They just had the right answer. They hit 2 casualties of war fairly early in the game. I mean, fairly early, turn 7 and 8 is not fairly early, but fairly early in the game. A game that goes like 25 turns. All right, here we go again. This deck is just fun. Like, it really is a different style than you typically play. War God King, bring it on. Calix, I think, is really fun and interesting to play with. I think that, if anything, I found that Calix probably deserves more play than he sees right now. We have a Scry for lands. Let's keep this. We have Daxos. We have other steps. Removals and everything. Do we just want more land, or do we want a Heliod? We have ways of turning them on with this hand. Okay, let's keep it. Because turning him on turns me on. Wait a second. Alright, here we go. Daxos is out. We will be removing that. No blocks. That's fine. Just dandy. Vanishing Light. Mono Black. This deck actually does pretty well against Mono Black, typically, because Mono Black can't do a whole lot against enchantments. Once they're removed, they're pretty much removed. Timuret comes out. Yep. If we hit land, we'll probably go with Calix just to start getting rid of more stuffs. These guys are annoying. We're going to need to get rid of them at some point, too. Let's actually Birth a Militus. Grab a land. I was thinking that we had enough for Conclave Tribunal with that. We still need to hit our land drops, though, for this deck. No attacks, pass the turn. We're only taking 2 a turn for now. This will basically stop that at some point here. The issue is if they find Gary and all those kinds of things. We have answers for this, right? We have answers all day long for that. So let's actually just kill these guys. This doesn't let us turn on our Heliod, but I think we just need to stabilize in this game anyway. So let's just get rid of these Falmire Knights. Slow down the clock a little bit, because they are going to be taking down and draining us throughout this game. Gary comes out, 1 less now because we got rid of Falmire Knight. Yeah. Calix dies. So we gain 2 life on the next turn. Nissa's not terrible. But if they have another Gray Merchant, that can be pretty annoying. And let's just do this. All right, we can take 3 damage. So let's actually play out some creatures. Timuret kind of does more now than Gary does, I guess. They can't really bounce this. They can maybe have it go to the graveyard, but I think we actually take Timuret, because our graveyard actually is important in case we ever do Ultimate Calix. Also, whenever we use Elspeth Conquers Death, which this also is a target for more stuff than like, because if we do find what's it, Conquers Death, Elspeth, set it. All right. Tap this for green. Narset. Or not Narset.
We will not
Nissa. Yeah, that's right. I know what I'm talking about. Untap a Plains. Planes.
Behold, nature's
Swing
true
in,
power.
and we get Heliod out. I think as a blocker... Oh, we don't have quite enough. That's fine. We have a blocker here, so that's fine. Pass the turn. We do have a blocker, at least. Drawing cards. And I do think that we should be able to win from here. The 9 life is an issue. They can kill us from there, so we need to start getting life with this Heliod. So that's got to be a priority. Block there, take 1 to Nis.
How rude!
How rude. Calix.
The multiverse provides me with fascinating new experiences.
You go underneath the indestructible fella.
I have
Actually,
strayed.
it is a
My
creature though, so
vanishes
honestly that's
from
not
this
quite as
world.
good as other stuff is. Yeah, go there. Tick you up on another planes. No reason to get out other stuff now.
Rise, my elemental
Swing in
friend.
with everything before damage happens. Put it on there. Gain some life back, down to 7. Tick up on a planes. You get bigger, son. And what you gonna do about it now? Ritual of Soot. Annoying, but we can kill them still this turn. So there we go. Whew, dude, this deck, when it goes off, it is so powerful. All right, so in the wrap up with this deck, I think it's crazy powerful, actually. Dryad has been, honestly, the worst card in our deck so far. It does mana fix, which is really nice because we have lots of mana pips and everything with all this, so it's pretty nice. I'm wondering if it's worth bringing in, like, a Nylea, just as a way to go digging for creatures every once in a while. So I really don't know, but the other thing that could be good here is the Alseed of Life's Bounty, maybe just taking that spot for 2 copies. That's probably the only thing I'd really change for this. Everything else is feeling good. I think 2 copies of Birth of Meletis is just fine. I don't think I was needing more than that. First starter in games was pretty fun, but there's big downsides as well. You can maybe splash into a different color with this to try to get a little bit more, just more value overall. But the deck is super fun. Like, I really just had a blast playing this. It was very different than anything else I've been doing. The power of Daxos, Destiny Spinner, and Heliod is pretty fun as well. So overall, I really like this deck. And I'd love to hear your comments down below what you guys think of this. Is it good? What things would you change with it? And yeah, I just love to hear you guys' thoughts. And let's go ahead and, oh yeah, I'm done. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out and bye-bye.